Kia ora, good evening. You are here with Boys Get Paid, coming at you live again on a Thursday night from the Export Beer Garden studio with the ACC, the Gear Garden studio. It's all happening in here, isn't it? It is great to have you with us. Lads, Luke's had a big weekend. That's why I was sort of going off on a little bit of a tangent there. But it's good to have you with us, as always. It's a Group 1 weekend. We've got Snazzy Tavi versus One Bold Cat. The lads are going to rip into that a little bit later in the show. Gee whiz, that's pretty exciting. But there's plenty of others to come as well. The Australian racing is hot at the moment with a bunch of Kiwis going over there. Orchestral's racing over there. I think, Dan, you were on about Bellatrix Star as well. There's a whole lot. So we've got plenty to go through tonight. But firstly, lads, good to have you with us as always. Luke, you in tip-top shape, mate?
Yeah, fresh airs. Obviously, we took a week off last week, so fighting, ready to go.
Absolutely, yeah. It's nice to have a little bit of a freshen up before a Group 1 weekend. Dan, how are you, mate? You've been battling a bit of an illness this week.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, I've been struggling since Sunday. I've been battling after the NRL Grand Final. Woke up on Monday a little bit rough. But I'm on the mend. I'm in the Export Beer Garden. I've got an export. This is the Mother's Nectar, and I'm feeling good.
First beer of the week, is it?
First beer of the week, yeah, absolutely.
Outstanding, mate. A day with the kids as well. That'll really sort you out today, won't it? It'll make you feel
Sick
alive.
Kids as well. Holy.
Oh, dear, mate. Well, look, some of us have had a pretty good weekend just gone, but Luke, none better than you, mate. You've come back from Sydney. You had a big old go over there at Randwick and at the Grand Final, and a few taxi rides here and there to try and find a bag. I understand it was bloody good.
In my backpack.
Your backpack.
My backpack.
Your backpack. You got it back though, didn't you?
Yeah, I certainly did. Yeah, look, I've jinxed another. Poor old J-Mac went over there to watch him win his 100th Group 1.
Yes.
And then they have to scratch, what's it called? The Autumn Glow.
Oh, was that supposed to be the 100th Group 1?
Well, I would assume so. So apologies to, I think that's a Group 1. Apologies to connections of that horse. But Kovalika couldn't get the job done too. A little bit unlucky, but beaten by a good horse, Seawolf. And we actually watched that when we were at Ellerslie, didn't we?
Yeah.
We bumped into the owner. We saw, one of the owners. Yeah, the guy that brought the horse.
Yeah.
Leighton is his name, fairly sure. So I got to watch that win. But yeah, head over there with Boys Trip. If you have a chance to go on one of their tours, they do it phenomenally well. Everything is organised for you. It's so dangerous. You don't even have to think. There's a bus leaving 10:30 outside the hotel. It'll take you to the races. It'll bring you back. There's a riverboat cruise on the Sunday, all-inclusive food and drinks, etc., leading into the game. Tickets to the game, bus back. Very well run. But yeah, I got to MC the room on the Saturday at the races.
Fantastic MC.
Yeah, they were stoked.
The greatest.
They put a lot of feedback forms out, so I'm not sure.
They might have mistaken you with Nigel Wagner, mate.
Yeah, that guy's and Roy Asitasi.
Was he there?
He was there, mate.
Legend.
He was there, yeah. But yeah, we had a good day, so we put the hat around. It's kind of like old school BGP. We basically stand up, put the hat around, and we had about 4,000 something, and it was getting a bit fiddly, so we had to top it up to $5,000 just to make the math, And what we did is we kept 80% of the kitty, and we had that to purr with, and then the 20% was with the room. So I thought, well, it was part of our Boys Trip request, but what we did is we then sort of had 8 races which we delegated out to some of the different people in the room, so that gave them the ability to pick a horse, and only one of the selections came in, but it was the favourite in the Epsom. But they were pretty happy, and everyone was up and about, and we managed to get a 10% return on the day, going all in on the last on the winner.
That's good stuff, mate. That's a good return. You didn't have any nigglers from last year asking any questions of your ability on the punt?
Well, what I did strategically is I could hear a couple of chirps going, so I thought, well, I know what we'll do. You can pick the next race.
Good.
Put the breadstick on her table to judge. Say, there you go, lady.
You're up next.
This one.
Yeah. So then that kind of quietens down a table when they are full of steam and pretty keen on something, and then it's not that easy, is it? But someone backed Airmen, not for the Punters Club, but for themselves. So they were sort of up and about, and then it was like, he just got 2 trifectas in a row. I'm like, fucking teach me. Trifectaiq.com. Yeah. But no, everyone had a really good day. And I think the cool thing, the rewarding thing for me is actually I spent a bit of time just sort of educated them about how good Randwick is. They've got the Everest coming up, how that works, how a slot race works. There was a bookie by our room, so you could go and bet with a bookie, why you can't do that here in New Zealand, how punting money ends up back into racing and different sports. They're all blown away by that. They just sort of assumed that if you put a bet on the basketball that the TAB get all the money. They don't realise that that actually helps to fund basketball here in New Zealand. So they're actually like really engaged by it all. And then we had the master trainer, Chris Waller, come in as well and explain that he could be a coach of the year at the Halbergs if they'd let that happen.
You explained that, didn't you? Did he like that?
I waited for him to be out of the room because he's pretty humble. Oh, we forced him to label a few winners, but unfortunately they were no good. But no, it was cool to have him in the room. So the day goes really fast when you're sort of backing each race and running a punters club and a couple of interviews and then trying to help a few people put bets on and things like that. But really, really enjoyable experience. And they get this suite at Randwick, which is looking down to the parade ring, which is a phenomenal view, and then you walk out to a bar and you can basically see the races from there. And yeah, there's a few Kiwis kicking about as well. I spotted the great Will Jordan. Asked him a couple of questions. Why didn't you get the double, mate? I need 2 tries. I'm greedy, mate. I need 2 tries in the game, not 1.
Yeah,
2 tries.
He was hanging out with J-Mac, wasn't he?
J-Mac turned up at the pub. He has to sign a few signatures first before venturing over to battlers like me, and I'll chew his ear off. And say, sorry about jinxing you, mate.
No signatures for Will Jordan. He's wondering what's going on.
There's a couple of old birds who are actually asking Will Jordan if he could take a photo of them. And I don't think they knew who he was. I'm like, ladies, have some respect for the great man.
Far out, he's an All Black.
Yeah, but anyway.
Sounds like you had a great weekend, mate. It's good stuff. It's always good to recap it. It sounds like you learnt from some previous experience as well, making sure that everybody in the room got a bet themselves so you could dish it out to them.
Yeah, 100%, mate. It's good fun.
It's good stuff.
Jump straight in their DMs.
Yeah, absolutely. Leave them some rude comments. It's a good way to go. Speaking of comments, get in the comments. Let us know what your best bet is this weekend, everybody that's listening in to us. We're going to run through the Livamol and the Spring Sprint, I think it's called, at some point very soon, but we want to know what your best bet is. Let us know who you think is going to win the Livamol as well. Is it going to be Snazzy Tavi or is it going to be One Bold Cat? You'll find out who the lads like.
We've also got a big announcement that we want people to leave comments about. Massive announcement, you remember?
How have I forgotten about this?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't want to take the Rack Band's thunder, mate.
Yeah. Do you want to tell the people about the massive announcement?
What is it?
It's a huge announcement.
The chilies?
What?
The peppers.
Oh, the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Coming to the Karaka Million. Look at the live band. How good.
Yeah, he's bringing his 16-year-old wife. It's pretty great.
Wow.
How good. No, not quite that good. But we are going to have a live band at the Karaka Million this year in the room, SoundCloud. How good. They're going to come in and play some covers. Maybe we'll get a bit of Bliss going. Maybe some Sweet Caroline, some sing-alongs. I think it's going to really invigorate the room. They're bringing a whole sound system, everything big enough for the room to sort of really get the energy up between the races. Then about 20 minutes, half an hour after the last race as well, before everyone heads down to the after party. So I think that's going to really add another level of atmosphere into the room.
Yeah, we're going to get you guys to vote on what sing-alongs you want. Then it's going to be compulsory singing. So one of the songs will be There's Only One Opie Bossin. Surely we'll rip into that.
Yep.
Warm the day up.
Figure that out.
And I'm going to vote for 50 Cent, I Get Money. You reckon they can cover that?
How does that go?
I
don't know. Yeah, I'll have to play it on my phone.
I get money.
Yeah, that's
get money.
yeah, that's me. But what else? I actually thought of something during the week and thought, that'd be a good one.
I'm going to have to get the thinking cap on as well then, because we've talked about Bliss, haven't we? And we had this conversation last year, and it was there was some good songs out there.
Yeah.
So
I think we have to pick one for each of the 3 Karaka Millions, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
It could be associated almost to a horse that's in the race as well, but then that might be too late. Who knows? We can have a bit of fun with it, eh? It would be bloody good.
Yeah. So if you want to leave a comment, let us know what you think they should cover. Or what song?
Absolutely. The Red Hot Chili Peppers do anything. Not sure if you've seen them live, but they take requests and all sorts. So, yeah, make sure you get your tickets and you get your requests in because they will absolutely go for it. Luke, over the last week while you were in Sydney, actually, Dan, I'm going to ask you, mate, how was the nervous system with another one of Luke's blessed bets and best bets? Not quite getting the win, but getting us the blessed money with Chattahoochee running top 3.
To be honest, it was hard. It wasn't an easy watch. There was all sorts going on up the straight, and I was thinking, oh, God, it's going to get beaten. No, it's going to get home. It's going to get beaten. It was an emotional roller coaster down the straight. It didn't need to be, but by God, it was good to see us get paid again.
Fantastic.
4 from 7.
The blessed bet?
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah, what were you saying to me this morning? If you put $100 on, you've won $840 back.
Yeah, if you put $100 on every week,
Everyone.
you've got $130 profit.
Profit? That's bloody good, eh?
Yeah.
Shit, it's going well.
Decent.
Chattahoochee was outstanding, Luke.
The hooch, yeah, not bad.
Yeah, that's right.
It must have been a genuine heavy track because, like I said, I thought that if it was a heavy track, then it was going to be tough to beat Mustang Valley. And I think another telltale sign earlier in the day, a horse called My Ugly Sister had won, and I'm pretty sure that loves a heavy track, which sort of signaled to me, oh, maybe we are going around on a bit of a heavy track here. And then for Mustang Valley to win, because I think Mustang Valley's only won 1 from 8 on a soft track, and most of those wins have been on a heavy track. But yeah, probably like a little bit too heavy for the hooch, but still held on for third, luckily, just. But obviously you couldn't get the blessed bet in Australia, and the Punters Club was about to close, so I got on the mic and I was like, guys, this is my best bet back in New Zealand this weekend. Get up to that Australian platform over there, have a bet on that, and you'd be smoking the hooch as long as you want to tonight or tomorrow at the game. And yeah, that failed to win. They're like, oh, the blue horse. I'm like, the
horse that was trying really hard for third place.
I said each way. Did I say each way? Or? Yeah, so then I had to top up the Punters Club up myself. But anyway, good to see you get home and snazzy Tabby the week before. And I feel like we've got a nice little blessed bet. Well, I know a man is very excited about a blessed bet later on tonight too.
He is fired up. Ted has got the blessed bet for us this week. We will get to it later on in the show. It may or may not be in the Livamol, so I'm sure you can probably take a hint from that when we do run through it. But yeah, Ted is very, very excited about this horse going around. You mentioned Snazzy Tavi there, Luke. Rackman, that was your best bet 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. You've got First Settler last weekend as well, so you are you're on a bit of a roll now, mate, after being slightly concerned after the first 2 or 3 weeks. You're into it.
Yeah, it was a little bit rough, mate, and I'm starting to warm up a little bit, and I'm getting so warm that I'm going a little bit loose this week. I'm throwing a $13 shot. Watch out, here we go. But yeah, our First Settler was a really good, tough win. I thought that had to really work hard. It got knocked around a little bit out of the gates. It got back. It sort of got back probably further than it wanted to, and then it was probably in the place where it didn't want to be. I was speaking to Matty Punt IQ, actually, asking him, oh, mate, like, I've got a bit of cash in the account here. Like, do I fucking really unload on this? And he goes, I think you should watch the first couple of races because that rail might be off. And then, luckily, the first couple of races, they were winning up the rail. I was like, all right. So I just unloaded, and it was like, it was a tight finish.
Did you have a multi with it?
I did.
It'll be multied into something else now as well, and futures, surely.
No. I had multis finishing on it, and I had a big bet on it to win.
Good.
Yeah.
Mate, you deserve that.
Then it was all downhill from there, boys.
Oh.
Let me tell you.
Yeah.
That's where my account got to its peak.
You're not the only one, mate. It was a bit of a struggle later on the day and on Saturday, but good on you, mate. You're on a roll now, so we'll get to your best bet a little bit later on. Just to recap as well, the GOAT was bloody unlucky with that risque ruler. I don't know where he finds these horses from, but he does bloody good at finding them. But that thing just had no chance whatsoever. And I think Ted's put it into the black book this week, isn't he?
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, looking forward to going through some of those black book runners later as well.
Absolutely. The harness lads last week didn't go too well, but the week before that they went pretty well too. And speaking of the harness lads, honest to God, it's so hard to judge. It's just great that we've got the Scam Man and Gasso in this competition. But when you've got, in this community, but when you've got somebody like Gasso who's winning a Punters Club in Methven and turning $600 into $6,500, no wonder when he puts a bet out, the odds just absolutely crumble, eh? Like, what a weapon.
What a weapon. Get him to the king of the punt.
Yeah.
I don't think there's Methven harness on a Saturday, mate.
Is there not?
Yeah.
There might be something.
Tough.
Mochu Karada, there'd be something going on with harness, wouldn't there?
Sure be some grass harness somewhere.
Good on you, Gasso. That's fantastic. And I see the Scam Man is third on the total ROI stats as well. So the harness is going good too, Dan.
Yeah, Scam Man's killing it. He was really consistent last year as well. He was really good at finding winners.
Always.
It's going to be interesting to see how this table changes over the next couple of weeks because I think there's going to be a few movements. Gee whiz, Kimmy's 13.6 units of profit.
Unites, yeah.
That is fucking yuck. Ted, 8.55, and then Scam Man, 4.16. Bit of work to do for the rest of the lads, but it's a long season.
You're really propping us up here, eh?
It's a long season, and anything can happen.
I feel like because you've created this table, Luke's really got himself dialed in this season because he knows that it's out there for everyone to see. There's a bit of a competitiveness there, Luke. Or you
Be competitive, no
you don't
way.
give a shit, eh? Absolutely love it. And obviously Fitzy and Markham are going to get on the board. It's a very, very long season. They're punting well. We'll find some. But there's a note in here, mate, about 2 picks of the yards from Kimmy's at Saturday on Ramwick. But before that, the pick of the yard for the band at Randwick that I saw that you were filming at one point. Who was playing? Was that
The band.
Yeah. You know how they have in
No,
Randwick.
that was like near the end of the day. I think there was a band playing after you had picked the yard.
Yeah. There's a live, at Randwick. You go to the show after. Who was that?
Nick Duck, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think they're just warming it up for Everest in a couple of weekends' time, you see.
Disappointing. Yeah. Okay, what were your picks of the yard?
So I thought, well, why not go old school we had the great grouse view, and we were going pretty average on the Punters Club. So I thought, well, let's go out there and actually let's find the winner from the yard for the Epsom. And I legit didn't even know who was who, and I spotted Seawolf and was like, holy shit, look at the size of that, just looked outstanding. And came back in and was like, oh, okay, right. Let's have a go. So the guy had actually tipped it in the room from the 20% side, which was good. I had a little side bet in the personal account. And then we had, I think we might have had 900 and something, or maybe 1,000 and something left to finish off the last race. So we gave the guy who won another bet. And then we went back out to the yard to figure out, right, who are we going? And basically it was Ostraka, which ended up winning. And then Punt IQ liked it as well. Josh, who was over there with me, he liked it. So he's decided chips in. And everyone got in behind it. There was I can't remember what the other horse was called, a grey horse, but that was maybe going for 4 in a row, and it was taking a bit of money as well, but we decided to go against that. And, the whole room were up and about screaming at home. And, might have to get my eye in again at some local race day and see if I can pick them from the yard.
Fantastic scenes.
Got the iPhone 15, mate. It's got a super zoom. Unbelievable zoom on it.
Is it?
Yeah. So you can really zoom in on them and have a good look.
It was good content. As soon as he took that video earlier in the day of where they were in the mounting, I was like, mate, you've got to give us a couple of pictures of the yard. You've got to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd been
Come
lazy.
on.
I'd kind of forgotten about it, but you'd messaged me. I'm like, oh, shit, okay, righto, let's do it.
I saw
And
that
you nailed
first
it.
video after
Just do
State
that
of
again.
America got mentioned on your post as well at $10. Did you post that before the race one?
We posted it before, so that was Big Tony. Big Tony
Big
tipped that
Tony
out.
tipped out a $10 winner.
Yeah, just casually in the background. Oh, he was like, oh, fuck off. And then, yeah. And then it's like, oh, State of America. And then State of America won. And I'm like, someone told us that. And then the messages started coming in. How good that guy said State of America. So the punters are just tuning in, listening, going, right, I'm going to have a go. And there's a couple of bet slips floating around. I'm like, gee whiz.
If someone says something, you just bet on it. I really wish I'd seen that before race one.
It pays to follow the BGP socials.
It certainly does. Speaking of having a good time in a room, the King of the Punt lads, we're going to be having a good time in a room next weekend is coming up. I watched your video, Dan, of yourself and the goat running through the King of the Punt competition and all that kind of stuff, and it was very intuitive, very easy to understand. And
Do you want to summarise it for us?
absolutely, bring $100 along. Make sure your account's cleared. Make sure you don't do any multis. Is that enough? Yeah.
Oh, no, that's not quite it. No.
Okay. Yeah.
No, you need a minimum amount of turnover by
was
a
another
certain
one.
race on the day. Yeah.
Yep.
So what he meant by multis is if you have a $100 multi, that's only worth $100 worth of turnover. So if you had a $100 bet on a horse, won $240, and then you put that $240 in the next horse, then that's actually $340 worth of turnover.
Yeah. So are you allowed to do multis or not?
Yeah, you are. You
Okay.
just have to do a certain amount of turnover by a certain time on the day.
To get to base camp.
Yeah.
An hour before the Everest, I believe.
So what's this base camp going to be all about?
So
That's your tent.
that'll weed out some of the people who haven't done enough turnover, and then you can't re-enter after that time as well.
Okay.
So then you're left with the final punters who are ready to scale Everest to knock the bastard off. And there will only be one winner.
All right. Well, summarise. We've got 140 people coming along to get involved, don't we?
Hopefully
At the moment,
100
A
more.
few more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Get in the mix.
Ticket sales are still going, so make sure you have a look and you get involved. We've also got Cup Week coming up as well, Luke, and Cup Week's going to be the Punters Club's going to be open soon. Is that right?
Yeah, heard from the dogs today. They've got 30.
Who's pumped?
They've got 30 tickets. 30 tickets sold to that so far, so people are getting in nice and early. I suppose it's only actually a month away. That's quite scary. Jeepers, I've just clicked.
Yeah. You've got a stag do in between. You've got the King of the Punt in between.
Weekend
it's
away.
gonna fly.
It's a bit on.
Oh, we got
Yeah.
Melbourne Cup. Oh,
Melbourne
my
Cup.
gosh.
Melbourne Cup.
Okay, we need to find some winners. But, so dogs, about 30 for that. I don't know what the harness is at. But we're hoping that the Punters Club will be open soon as well. So we've got a nice little build-in into that. Now, it will be a lot different to get into the Punters Club this year. There will be a new way where you'll be able to join the BGP community via the TAB, and then that will have a pot inside it, and then you will put your money into the pot, and then eventually the pot will close. That will be the closing balance, and then we will start having bets, and then those will feed into the community area inside the TAB app so that you can see the bets. So it'll be a very different experience to what you're used to.
Can we have bets before the pot closes?
First question I had for them, I'm like, hey, listen, lady. Listen.
Do you remember this horse called Cool and Fast?
Yeah.
Do you know about him?
I'm just throwing out like joking things. Like, so if we had 50,000 on like a $21 shot, yeah, that's because the lady's in Australia, Maddie, lovely person. Yeah, that's possible. I'm like, great, we're gonna need that.
Have you heard of Matt Scott? He's paying $10 at the moment.
Farrelloni?
Matt Scott. That'll be on the Wednesday, won't
Oh, I
it?
should say nothing. What?
Eh?
Yeah, I'm going to dive into it.
It might be a day
Pat
early
Mile.
for the Punters Club anyway.
Bring it on. But yeah, so that'll hopefully be
it
ready
is on the
soon.
Wednesday. Okay, load up. Sorry.
You're right. Load up. Hopefully that'll be ready soon. And then the Punters Club runs Thursday through to the Saturday.
And the Karaka Millions tickets are available. Are they open? We're live.
Yeah, 300 tickets gone.
Oh, wow.
Naughty, eh? So those are available.
Oh, that's so good.
The link-
None of the Red Hot Chili Peppers available.
Yes.
They're all gone.
Can we double book them?
And of course, the Red Hot Chilies are going to be there singing your cover songs. So I think, from memory, we might have updated the app to include the link in there for the Punters Club. So I'll just check. For the Karaka Millions. But if not, we need to do that. But yes, the tickets are available for those people who would like to come along.
Plenty going on over the next few months, and as Dan sort of teased before, we'll be somewhere for the Melbourne Cup in November as well, spending an afternoon, hopefully bringing a live podcast and having a few beers somewhere around Auckland to enjoy it. Are we allowed to talk about that yet, Dan?
No, it's locked and loaded. We're definitely going to be there. Whether or not we
okay.
do the podcast from there is another story altogether, but we're going to be at the full-time sports bar in Kingsland. That's the new Warriors / TAB type bar that they've got going on there. The screens, I've not actually been there. You've been there before, Kimmy, so.
I went there. The screens are unreal. And honestly, I walked in and these blokes were looking at me. And then I think they're like, oh, BGP, how you going, lads? Is this horse going to win? I'm like, yeah, well, it's Ted's best bet. And then next thing, bloke comes back with a pretty big-sized white FPOS card, which is a TAB receipt. And he had lumped a fair bit of coin on Ted's bet. It was at Te Rapa, like middle of the week.
At Miami Bell, was it?
No, it wasn't that week. It was the week where it didn't come in. So I had to sit next to them. I was like,
oh, no.
you want to get this fucking takeaway, mate?
They know.
Yeah.
They know. Is Big John Bosch going to be there with us? Or
Bosh!
Do you know about this guy from TikTok, Dan? or-
Yeah, I've seen him.
You've seen him before.
Yeah, I've seen him before, but only because I was like, "What is going on here?" But he's just a big bloke that orders like Chinese and orders like 25 different meals for a Chinese dinner.
And do you know him, Adam? You're shaking your head. You're nodding your head over there.
No, I've seen a lot of his content. He just absolutely canes it from his local place, and his son,
his favourite?
his son freaking started him a TikTok, and it just went berserk. And it's the accent. The accent is so good, and he just crushes food. His son's a boxer.
Yeah, he's at like fifth best heavyweight in England or something like
Yeah,
that.
which is a real conundrum.
This guy's belly is ginormous. He's going to be at the Ellerslie races on Labour weekend. Hey, he's going to be at the races on Labour weekend. If any of our young community out there love Big John Bosch, get to the races at Ellerslie on Labour weekend. I can't believe this guy. I absolutely love it. TikTok superstar.
What's your favourite Chinese meal?
Sweet and sour pork. It's got to be. I actually had Chinese on Sunday. It was really nice.
Did you?
Yeah, great tong.
What was
GI.
his name?
The great Joe Tong.
Bosch.
I'm a chicken and cashew nut kind of guy.
That sounds like Thai.
Yeah.
That does sound like Thai.
Oh, they have like a chicken chow mein with cashew nuts.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know.
What about you, Lou?
I guess.
Nah, not sure.
Don't touch it.
Nah, not often.
you
More
need
of a Thai guy.
You need to look at Big John.
Thai meals, that is.
Get along, see Big John at the Ellerslie races in a couple of weeks' time.
Ask him for the favourite.
You'll be
I like duck, though. I've really enjoyed a bit of duck.
fucking Peking duck is just the business, eh? When they put that on. Phew, buffet.
Wouldn't you just love to go to the Tab winning post where they were serving duck?
Oh, look, that Saturday at Rickerton, we were all pretty dusty and coming to the end of the week. Hopefully they've got duck on the buffet. Eh? I'll be looking forward to that. Absolutely love it. Right, keep your comments coming in, people. We want to know who your best bet is this weekend and who's going to win the Livamol. Before we do get into that quickly, just to recap on the last couple of weeks again, lads, because we've obviously been away, but there has been some important racing going on, and the Hawke's Bay Guineas 2 Wednesdays ago now at Te Rapa, at Matamata, wasn't it? Savagly taking that out. But the story of the race probably was captured by Love, missing the start by about 54 lengths and absolutely flying home for second. What's happened there?
I don't remember the last time I've seen a run like that with a horse that was just absolutely powering home so aggressively over that last 100. I was like, who? I didn't even notice her the first time I was watching the race because I was too busy focusing on Savage Lee to try and just get the job done. I didn't even see that. When I went back and watched it, I was like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
That is crazy. Like, surely if it got away with them, it would have just kicked their heads in. I'm glad it didn't, but that's the feeling that I got.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I was exactly the same. I was like leaning into my screen trying to figure out if Savagly was going to win. And then, noticed it in the replay. I think as well, was there a chat that it was sort of held back at the barriers? They were still holding on to
The
it.
barrier
So,
attendant had a handle.
okay, so it would
is
have
that
been
right?
it would have been a scratching, but because it ran in the top 4, I think the rules are that once it runs into the top 4, I'm sure one of the
chance.
astute punters out there will let us know. But it finishes effectively in that 4, then they have to leave it in. Otherwise, it would have been late scratched.
I think the GOAT mentioned that straight away, didn't he? He said
Yeah.
the win punters would be pissed off because you would have got a refund.
Something else he mentioned was that One Bold Cat was not working very well, and that Bell's Fate was going to win. Is that the same? That was a different day,
Yes.
but we haven't been back on since then, have
Bell's
we?
Fate towered it up at the track work or something.
Anyway,
Yeah,
One
look,
Bold
it's
Cat winning the bloody 1,600 metres, beats Skoo Whiff. Oh, another futures bet goes by the wayside.
We were having some voice messages on the way home after that day. I was just so... I was so pissed off with punting that day that One Bold Cat won it. Like, the horse isn't even set for that race, and it was smoked them, so no wonder it's favourite this Saturday. But, yeah, it was like, for a horse that's not even there to win.
I feel like one more roughie and you might have been done with racing for a season, eh?
Oh, yeah, maybe. No, only for a couple of days, mate.
Ah, 2 days.
Yeah. We just need some favourites to win. Just get a favourite home. Favourite.
Yeah, don't you worry, mate. We've got a couple this weekend. We'll get... didn't Nereus win?
No, it was
Leave
he's
me
lucid.
out of that.
He's
Yeah, leave
lucid.
me out of that as well.
He's lucid, ran really well through wide lads. Stick with it. Skoo Whiff was a favourite, I think, maybe on the day, and Skoo Whiff looked like it was going to win with about 200 metres to go,
Yeah.
and just couldn't get the job done.
Big bad One Bold Pussycat run over the top. Great breeding. That horse is actually half to that other horse.
Swiss Kitty.
Swiss Kitty, that's it.
For it, eh?
Nearly forgot. Swiss Kitty.
Yeah. Hey, just on the Hawke's Bay Guineas, Super Photon, do we drop it?
I am wondering what the hype is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just showing nothing, eh?
But I do wonder, what was that track that day? Was it?
Well, it was a good track.
Oh,
Was it good or was it soft?
It was. It wasn't bad. It was a soft 5 or a good 4. It was. You know.
Yeah, I think it was actually good track, but it did sound. I don't know. I mean, it looks like a kind of horse that needs a little bit more distance, and it might surprise people up to 1,600. But it actually might even be. It might need further. Like it might be one of these horses that comes in like the Auckland Guineas or Avondale Guineas up to the 2,100. We might go. How do we forget about this horse?
yeah, good point.
So we might just go. Okay, well let's put it on the back burner now. Maybe because what's it out of?
I don't know, breeding, mate.
Okay.
Luke,
I'll find it
can
for you.
someone help out?
But
it
I'm
was
just
fucking average.
yeah,
So I
yeah.
was like, I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to stick with it for this race because I think getting up to 1,400 metres, maybe exactly that logic. I was watching it like, oh, come on, just at least run a placing or something.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, who knows? Maybe they galled it and then it comes back.
Yeah. It's no fault.
goes-
It's no fault of anyone. I think it's just
goes on a derby
disappointing,
path.
when you've got a horse like that where you just hear all of this and you're sort of going, yeah,
Oh,
okay,
mate,
cool.
this is racing. Someone needs to be held accountable. We need someone to blame. Heads must
Heads
roll.
must roll.
Heads
Come
must
on.
roll.
Where's Butch? Can we blame Butch?
Oh, Butch the
Get him.
bitch in the comments.
Not Butch from Waikato. By the way, yeah, just another Bush.
Some punisher. I do.
Yeah.
I just on that. I do crack up in racing when anything goes wrong, and it's like you get Barry, the bloody Baptist boomer, just out on the keyboard. He's got it out quick as heads must roll. So who the fuck's going to take the jobs, mate? With all these heads you're going to roll off.
This was after Hawke's Bay, wasn't it?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, look, it's not great what's happened, but it's like the whole industry just needs to have a look at itself and go. Especially these older people that have been in the game for so long, they've watched the demise of the sport. They've watched it go bankrupt, and then they just expect that it's some sort of billion-dollar sporting body that's just got all the spare cash and they can just get everything perfect every single day. You're talking about wild animals, racetracks. weather you can't control. But no, Barry's got to let you know, Barry the Boomer, heads must roll. Well, who's going to take the jobs, champion?
Yeah.
Anyway.
CEO of NZTR stands down. Oh, yeah, he's never done anything anyway. Fuck, he was doing some great stuff. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, it's
The industry moved a lot away in the
long
period
way
of time.
with
Like,
him
what
there,
are you watching?
Come on, bro.
the negativity amongst some of the older people. I just find it hilarious because they've had the best years of this sport.
Yeah.
And then they've watched it kind of struggle. And now it's coming back. And then it's like, they're flipping out. So maybe if you guys punted a bit more, if you invested in some more horses, if you went along a bit more, et cetera, maybe we wouldn't be here. But anyway.
No, you're right, mate. You're right. 100% spot on. It is a real, I mean, we all do sitting here feel for Hawke's Bay Racing because we're going to get into Te Rapa this Saturday. And it is a real shame that it's not down in Hawke's Bay because Hawke's Bay has been such a great carnival for the last however many years it's been going. And that was a really unfortunate incident. Who knows why or what happened, but... yeah, at least they're still going to try and put on a day for the people down there and of whoever was going down there or whoever's locals. Like, good on you guys. I hope everyone has a good day down there because it's it's really good and hopefully we see it back there next year. It's a shame
because it's actually big for the community as well, and big for
massive.
the Hawke's Bay. It's like really well supported, and the community get in behind it, and it's their day that they really want to rip into. And I've been to a number of those days, so I'm sure they'll bounce back. But it's just, I think we just need a little bit of realism sometimes in the sport that is probably lacking some of the resources just through to over the years of it sort of struggling.
Absolutely. All right, let's rip into it, lads. Te Rapa Race 7, which is the spring sprint. And honestly, on Saturday, there are some old favourites that are going to come up, but the top of the book here, Dan, is an old favourite in Habana. There's a few going around in the Cambridge stud colours this weekend, and Habana could be one that could win this at pretty decent odds. But firstly, what are we going to be racing on, Dan? Because you're the closest person to Hamilton from Luke, myself, and yourself. Oh, yeah. How's the paddocks out there, mate?
They're wet, but I think it's going to be... Okay, I mean, it's going to really depend on these next 2 days. So tomorrow, the forecast is saying that there's going to be about 3 mils of rain, but that could be nothing. If it ends up being no rain tomorrow and then no rain on Saturday, we could get back to a soft 7. It's a heavy 8 at the moment. It'd be outstanding if we managed to get back to a 7, because there's a horse later on in the day that I'd like to see kick their heads in on a soft 7. But like if I was a betting man, I'd say it's going to be a heavy 8 because there's going to be enough rain to just keep the moisture in. But hopefully it warms up on Saturday enough that maybe by the time we get to the back end of the card, the track improves and we end up on a soft 7.
Yeah. Soft 7 at Te Rapa is pretty good too, so that would be good.
Yeah.
Who's going to win the spring sprint, Dan?
This is a really interesting race. I'm going to go for a couple. So one down a little bit further, a horse called Blissful Bell. Has reasonable second up stats. It's had 3 starts for a second and 2 thirds, so it goes all right. The distance, it's had 15 starts for 2 wins, 5 seconds, and 4 thirds. Heavy is no-go.
Yeah.
It's had 1 start, no wins, but soft, it's had 8 starts for 3 seconds and a third, so I'm willing to maybe have a little bit of a go, but I'm just going to see what happens. Sammy Spratt's been riding out of her skin over the last sort of 6 to 12 months. So, draw 12. I think Blissful Bell is up there. Wits End, I think, really needs a good track, and I think that the price maybe is a little bit false on that one. The only other one that I think I would probably have a bet on in this race is further down the book, and it's Geriatrics. So, Masa Hashisumi up. I heard from, I don't know if it was Lance Sullivan or Andrew Scott on one of the shows earlier. Maybe it was not the Leg Up. What's the other one? The Form. And his interview was just talking about how this horse was sort of like a little bit wooden-legged. I don't really know what that means, but he said it's bouncing around out of its skin at the moment. He thinks expects it to perform better. This horse second up has 1 for 1, and I think that when this horse is right, it's actually really good.
Yeah.
And you've just got to find it on the day. And when you find it on the day, I don't remember, it was that Pukekohe that it won really impressively. And then it went over to Australia and won as well, didn't it? And then run pretty average. But like when you find it on its day, this horse is really good. And so you get a price to find out, $10 and $3. I'll probably just have a bet on those 2 horses. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Habana League?
Yeah. I don't know. I think he's a miler. So,
Okay.
Yeah, that's probably what puts me off. However, I got a feeling that, like, if the track's too wet, they might pull Wits End out. Now, if they pull that out, then that really changes the complexion, if that's the word, of this race.
That's the word.
And that's the word?
That's the word, mate. You're
Yeah.
an intelligent man. You know that.
Thank you. And then the 550 around Habana starts to look pretty sexy, but I do think from all of the analysis I've done of Google Weather that it looks like we'll be on a soft track.
You reckon?
Yeah. But if it's heavy, I got a feeling that it might go, you know what, nah, not for us, and they'll pull Wits End out. But Habana can get through the heavy and has won 4 from 9 on the soft as well. Now, it has won at this distance, but I don't know about it at this sort of... At this, if you've got to try and beat like the likes of Wits End, if you're getting a better track. But I think at the mile, third up, that's probably our go. But look, I've still had something because I'm going to fall back on, actually, who's the best horse in this field? And the answer is probably Habana, right? Proven best horse.
Potentially Wits End, but it's proven Habana.
Yeah, and if we're having an off track, then hey, mate, maybe not, and it could trip it up. But it has performed Wits End on a soft track. But I did see that Wits End ended up out to 4s, back into 3.7, back out to 3.8.
Oh, yeah.
The other horse that I think is a bit of an up-and-comer and is in the black book is a horse called Navigator. Now, this horse has actually won 4 from 10. It'll get through a heavy track. It'll get through a soft track as well. But is it up to this? I don't know. But anyway, I'm not sold on Habana, but I just feel like pulling this field apart, the more I look at it, I've got to just go back to basics of potentially it's just the best horse, and if it wins, I'll go, how did I miss that? But I really like Habana a bit further up, 1,500 metres, 1,600 metres.
It's had 3 starts second up for 2 wins in a second.
Yeah.
So the $2.20 for a place looks
Yes.
sexy.
And what's the top 4? I think it was...
And it's 2 from, well, it's 1 on a heavy
$1.80
track.
top
2,
4.
2 runs, a first and a second on a heavy track. Cops it. Rudyard always runs top 3.
Again, like...
Needs a good track.
Yeah, you'd think so. It just seems to be like one of those horses. And also distance for this one. I think it's no good.
And there's 1,600.
Yeah.
Hello, Rudyard.
Yeah.
If it's a real heavy track, say it's heavy 8, heavy 9, what's the smoky?
Oh, you are sick for it.
Well, it could be like that, right? And there's probably 3 or 4 in there that could potentially win it at if it did get too heavy.
I'll take Dusty Road.
It's been Ted's best a couple of weeks, hasn't it? Over the winter, a couple of times over the winter, and then 1, 2 over the winter.
It'll be one of those roads, eh?
See, Opie Bosson's on Bradman.
Ooh, oh, yeah, okay.
I'll take electric time.
Yeah, that went well behind Mustang Valley last week, didn't it? Really
Yeah.
good finish. I think the
53 kilos.
start before that, it was in a good race.
Drawn the
too.
car park just where you want to be on a really heavy track.
Exactly.
Who you go, mate?
Oh, nice lads. I hadn't worked it out yet, but I really like Blissful Bell. I think that's going to win a good race at some point this season. So if the track's going to be good enough, I'm going to have a crack at it at the odds, and just going to hope for that. If the track is not good enough, yeah, I thought Bradman maybe have a go at.
What's tricky, is these not knowing what the track's going to be. It just really takes the confidence out of a punter's ability to be like, I like this one.
It's hard, eh? Yeah. And also on a day like this, I feel like with such big fields and with such good odds, you might as well try and find something out of the ordinary or that's paying long odds, because there's going to be a shitload of them that come in. Even top 4, there's going to be some that are going to pay $3 or $4. That's probably going to happen in the Livamol. So we'll move on to the Livamol and try and find a few winners in that and a few top 4 there. This is absolutely fantastic, this race. It's turned out. We've got one bold cat versus the rest, according to some, not according to the form. Everyone's on Campionessa from the form, but is the track going to be good enough for Campionessa? Snazzy Tabby, our favourite, drawn 18. It's got the away draw. It only lives fucking 10 minutes away, but they've given it the away draw. Absolutely disrespectful, the Rackman reckons. What do you reckon, Luke?
Oh, for sure. I mean, she doesn't know. I gave her a quick call. She doesn't know where she's drawn. She's in the race. She's a chance. And got Warren Kennedy, what do they call him, the wizard. He'll wave his wheel, get his wand out, and
Pointed in the right direction.
get this horse
Come
home.
on.
But, I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing how this horse goes. And I think the heavy might be an unknown. Has she been on a heavy? I think the soft might be the go. But I feel like she'll probably get through it. She's got through 4 from 6 on a soft track. So Tavistock out of Ritzy later. Don't you worry about that. Barrier 18. But I I was a little bit underwhelmed by Pearl of Alsace last start, but it was probably never going to be the grand final, right? But third up and has won third up and 2 from 2 on a heavy track, 4 from 5 on a soft track. Yeah, that could just well be the forgotten horse, Pearl of Alsace, now third up. But it's a pretty interesting field. You got the likes of JBG, who's in there.
If it's heavy,
Just
you'll be all
whatever.
day.
Yeah, I mean, if it's heavy, for sure. Kelly Myers on. It'd be good to see them pick up a Group 1. Even a horse like Dionysus paying 16s and now third up actually wasn't too bad. It's no good first up. It's no good second up. But it was only 5 lengths off of Snazzy Tabby, but she put a gap on them. And now third up, it goes a lot better. But the wet track's probably going to be the concern for that. So, yeah, I think if you like something rough, especially if the likes of Campionessa doesn't handle a really heavy track, but goes right on a soft track, then you can probably find something you're happy to have a play with. But I'm sure you lads might cover off a couple of those others that are favoured by the punters out there.
Yeah, well, I've got a small ticket on One Bowl Cat from Futures from Ted a few weeks ago, which I'm happy with, and I think he's a horse that can definitely win it. On form, won really well in the Arrowfield. I think there's not really much more to say about that, but his runs have been great this time back, and I think he's a really good chance of winning it. Snazzy Tavi, I've got a much bigger ticket on. I'm hoping that this is the one. I love this horse. Like, I don't think I've ever actually passionately loved the horse as much as I love this one. Like,
That's so good.
I fucking love this horse.
That's so good. That's what gets you excited about horse racing, mate. Good on you.
When I was at Te Rapa when she won as my best bet a couple of weeks ago, I was like, fuck, I ran down near the birdcage. I was like trying to have a look at her. I was like, oh, yeah, she fucking looks good, doesn't she? Yeah.
Give him a number, mate. You've been speaking about it.
I'll do an email intro.
Yeah. And I remember Wazza jumped off and looked at Lance and goes, oh, that's much better. Yeah, she's fucking good. Like, she's real good. And I was like, oh, here we go, baby. Come on, fire me up. Now, if there's a really heavy track, just as a caveat, one that I'm going to throw in and I'll have a bet on if it gets really heavy is Heyo Saspam. $41 and $9.50. Its heavy track stats are outrageous. Heavy tracks, 3 wins, 3 seconds, and a third. This horse loves heavy tracks. Hasn't gone good at the track, hasn't been over the distance, but I don't know if you've seen it this season. Like, it won really well fresh up and then didn't go too good last start. But that was a good 4. And so you get this horse on a heavy track. It's like a little bit like Mustang Valley, how, you get that horse on a heavy track and it like adds a couple of links. So that's probably my one roughie. I've already got my tickets on this race. I don't need a bet anymore. But yeah, Heyo Saspam, if it gets really heavy, I'll just have a little each way go on that. $9.50 for a place. Thanks for coming.
I love your passion about Snazzy Tavi, mate. It's so explosive. That finish was so explosive. You can't not take notice of that. And geez, if the conditions are right and it gets the right run, hard to be beaten.
Mate, we're going to be at the Northcote Tavern. And
yes,
we'll blow the roof off if that thing comes down the outside.
Yeah.
I'll probably be kicked out. I'll be going home early.
Actually, I'll be on a stag do, so I might get you guys to FaceTime me to watch the race and we'll watch it together.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, I really like that. Definitely, Luke. We will do that. What about did anyone catch the run of Lightning Jack in the Arrowfield Stud Plate? I know, Luke, you said before the show it's hard to follow, but fuck, it wasn't hard to follow that run. That was exceptional.
Yeah, it was pretty big, but leave me out of it.
Okay. El Vencedor, I had a crack at that at the Arrowfield Stud Plate, and I was filthy. I was like, well, what's going on there? And then I heard all the, I think it was probably Stephen Hunt saying, oh, no, they've gone out too hard. You can forgive that. But
it's the Stephen Hunt who said, they've gone out too hard. You can forgive that horse.
It was the fastest 600 of the day, including all the 1,200-metre races.
Well, so it should be. It's a fucking Group 1.
Yeah, it should have won.
It should have kept going and kicked their heads because it would have filled my pockets.
Do you drop it? Or were you on El Vencedor as well?
Yeah,
you were.
In a big way.
Malt time, any hope?
Maybe.
No, maybe. Okay. I can't work it out between One Bowl Cat. Well, actually, no. I think One Bowl Cat's got the advantage with the weather coming in and the draw. I think there's a definite advantage there. Really want Snazzy Tavi to win, but I want One Bowl Cat for Ted to win because Ted has been on this for a very, very long time, and anyone that'll listen, he's been telling, get on that horse, and he bloody absolutely loves it. But I feel like, I don't really know where to go here. I don't really know what's going to happen with the conditions. So I'm going to go a same race multi. I'm going to top 4, one Bold Cat, El Vencedor, and Snazzy Tavi. Going to leave Campionessa out of it, just thinking that the track's probably going to be a little bit too wet for it, and it may not even run. Who knows, early on in its campaign. That's paying $14. I think if El Vencedor gets to the front, it could be hard to chase down if it, isn't the fastest race to the first 600 metres this week. Who knows. But, $14 for me, that's pretty good money. And then there's probably going to be something else that comes in the top 4 there at some ridiculous odds.
There's something like Rolls, we're like, how do we leave out the Aussie runner? Well, if it won the other day, probably be near on favourite for this, right? But because it got beat.
That's the thing, eh? And there's probably like Rolls and Pearl of Alsace are probably 2 of a few horses that have actually been set for this race. Like they're bringing Rolls over to win this race. Pearl of Alsace, they've been setting it for this. One Bold Cat, they've obviously been setting it for this.
Snazzy
the rest
Tavi.
of them, you never know, yeah. Oh, Snazzy Tavi, they've been setting for this race, yeah.
Bit up and down, but I'm going
We're
to
calling
convince
it.
myself.
Yeah.
Bloody intriguing.
Oh, bring it on. Hey, it's good to be excited about a Group 1 race in New Zealand, isn't it? Like, there's many chances here.
Yeah. I just wish we knew what was happening with the track. It would make it so much easier, with the weather.
Talking about tracks, what's happening on Sunday?
Yeah, Luberon's going to win the Swainess Stakes, isn't it?
Wow.
Nice. I actually haven't had a look, but
Was that a Group 2 or a Group 3, or what is it?
Group 3.
Yeah. You're on
Great
YTAC,
race.
Dan?
Yeah, Bonnie Lass won this last year. Navigator's nommed for this as well. So for both days, I don't know which one he's going to come out of.
Navigator.
Luberon 850. You beauty.
It's good money, isn't
Remember
it?
that? I thought that was a great win last start.
Luberon was 3 wide the trip at Ellerslie, that first up.
Oh, yeah, and that was amazing. That sort of got my roll going. That sort of like turned my day around. So I'll probably back Luberon again.
Before your
But-
$3 multi.
It'll stink and be wet in Rotorua.
This is the thing. If it's a soft 7 at Te Rapa on Saturday, it's going to be a heavy 12 at Rotorua on Sunday, isn't it? So,
Yeah, I
luck.
think Rotorua there's a bit more rain forecast down there. So, yeah, YTAC, I think, is probably my bet in this race.
That's your new Dragon Leap, eh?
Yeah. Thanks, Wexford.
have we got? There was no odds out for this race when I looked last night, but it's out now.
If this horse does me like Dragon Leap, this will be getting retired to Wexford as well. Sure.
Oh. We'll get you a few hugs, mate.
They do love it. Right, should we get some best bets and Livamol winners from the community? They've been sitting patiently and letting us know what's going on.
A few in here. We have Dan's off to the bathroom. That's what's going on screen. So we'll just shout that out. Thanks, Dan. Caleb is in Topor on Friday, race 9, the Sky Above.
Okay.
Rich is all in on the BGP favourite of Snazzy Tavi.
Yes.
Here's one from Jack, which is actually a goodie now. I've actually fully read it. Best bet, goat to win the punter of the year, $1.45.
Oh.
Seems a bit rough considering that ROI we heard earlier as well, where Kimmins is out in front there.
But this is at Te Rapa on Saturday, the punter of the year thing, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, there's a separate punter of the year. Adam wouldn't know about that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I think the GOAT might be entering the punter of the year, which is a different comp to the punter of the group. Yeah, hopefully he'll go right. I think he might be hosting it, so he probably can't be winning it. He'll find a way.
Good luck either way, goat.
We've got Mark here, Addington, race 9, Tact McLeod. Leonard is basically just enjoying the chat, lads. So thank you, Leonard.
Good on you, Leonard.
We have...
Len! Fuck, he's an absolute legend.
he said granddad in there? Does that
Yeah,
make sense?
mate, he is just the man. We need his knowledge on this panel.
We have Emon here saying Thunderfist race 1 at Ashburton. We have Matt Hill, who's Collyfield race 8. He's on Evaporate.
Can we follow
Caulfield.
Matt Hill's tips for a few weeks, please, and just understand whether or not...
Yeah, so Matt Hill's tipped Collyfield. What race?
Race 8 at Collyfield. And then he has a second one at Collyfield as well. Race 9, Bellatrix Star.
Oh, yeah.
At $7.50.
Going for 3 from 3 at Collyfield.
Darren's here on Te Rapa race 1, Kiwi Skyhawk.
Oh, get out of here.
Gross.
Anyone got us a cover song?
As I am going down, there is...
Heaps of comments?
Mate, there's a lot of comments all about horses.
Len must have a cover song, Elvis Presley or something like that.
Oh,
that
I've
he
been
can
lucky
throw
with
out for us.
Elvis.
Oh, here, I've got a good one for you. We've got Mark here, who
Okay.
is in Murano, Italy. Good to tune in, but can't punt on the tab.
Oh, yes you can, mate. So you need to turn your roaming settings on. Italian! What you want to do, mate, turn your roaming settings on. Make sure you got your data back here in New Zealand. Text the word buy roaming to 158. That should get you 2 gigs of data. You'll be able to watch about 12 races, live stream them all, and bet responsibly, and problem solved.
And you'll come back and you have a $350 bill.
No, it's $30 a day. $30 for the 2 gigs.
Okay.
Yeah, but no songs yet. We've got, even down here, we get Joel who's going Bonnie Lass wins again, and Jack Walker to round it off at Te Rapa, race 2, Perfect Mans.
Oh, yep.
And last one, it just literally popped as saying Cash Burden, race 7, Vivacious, from Quinton as well.
Oh, that was in the black book, wasn't it?
She was.
I didn't even spot that going around. I've got a couple from Cash Burden, so make sure that you remind me to tip them out.
Yeah, there's a few there from Cash Burden, eh? We're probably going to need to just promote that we've got the Red Hot Chili Peppers coming, and we need some song choices a little bit more, so we get some people in the comments. Maybe that can be the question next week. But thank you very much, everybody, for your best bets as always. Len, it is great to hear that you're out there, mate. We'll see you next week at King of the Punt. No doubt he's one of the favourites for King of the Punt. Let's keep track of what Matty Hill bets on as well. Dan,
where's Vivacious?
It's race 7, Cash Burton, at number 13, and Am I In It's number 14.
Oh,
It's the Quinella.
is it If I Did It running as well?
yes, in the last of the day, I believe. Vivacious
big day
is
of punting.
okay. Third up now. It's only 1-1. Okie dokie. $6.50. Yeah. Okay. I'll just a couple from down there. Now, race number 4, Lippy.
You're right. I love it how these horses just keep popping up.
7th up. Perfect. 2,200 metres, getting $12. Taking a couple off with apprentice riding. Race 6, Miss Layla. $9 on the odd surge. And race 9, If I Did It. $9.50 on the odd surge. Now, one of those.
3 in a row.
That
One of them
got us
will pop
home
up.
at $10
Yeah.
last time.
That was outstanding, eh? God, I love that horse. I hated it on Cup Week, but man,
I can't believe it's won a couple now since
it's
we stopped tipping
unbelievable.
it.
Yeah.
Piece of shit.
Ran top 4 Cup Week. That finished off my BGP, best of BGP
yes.
multi.
Multi,
Yeah, to run
yeah,
top
yeah.
4. That was outstanding. Do we want to get to some black bookers, Dan, or should we skip past this to anything else that you like this weekend, mate?
Yeah, I think we maybe skip. We've got.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's skip
You can
past
do
that.
the
minutes.
Black Bookers on the Monday recap.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, perfect.
Anything else you like, Dan?
Oh, I've got a few.
Yeah, good.
And I
I'm
don't
glad you
just
went to the bathroom because that would have been a real struggle to get through.
not just necessarily horses, but I've got a few bets that I like as well. So the Caulfield Guineas is hard to find a little bit of value with broadsiding paying $1.50. But there's another horse that I know the trainers have, and I think it's from the Hayes Barn, have a big opinion on, which is called Evaporate. So you can get broadsiding to win and Evaporate top 3 for $4.60, or broadsiding to win and Evaporate top 4 for $3.30. I think that's a bet. I think it's a moral. And I'm into that. That's the Caulfield Guineas race at Collyfield. And then the other one I thought that was a good bet was Caulfield race 9, Mornington Glory top 2. So that was the Mule Stakes winner. And then Bellatrix Star top 4, you get $4.50. I thought that was an outstanding bet. I'm going to get on that as well. The reason I took Mornington Glory top 2 is I think there's a chance Bellatrix Star could be really good and might just bowl over the top of them. But the fact that you're getting $4.50 for that top 2 and top 4, I thought was outstanding money. The other one I thought was really good value was Another Will and Orchestral, both to run top 3, $5.50.
I love how you spent the weekend, the day home with the kids pricing up same race multis.
Oh, man, I love it. Now, I put them in bed last night and I went through and I was like, okay, cool. How am I going to find some horses? The other one that I think is a really good bet this weekend, and I think this horse is a moral, Rosehill Race 8, Alan Brown Stakes, Gringotts.
Oh, what's that paying?
It's $5 into $4.20.
Sheesh.
I reckon this horse might start $2.80 or $3. I think it's going to get backed in. It was huge last start. It was quite unlucky because it did get out late, and it got out late about 50 or 75 metres and boomed home and just missed.
Just missed.
Just missed.
I'm going to have to listen back on this to catch up with those multis and bets, eh?
Yeah, well, so Gringotts was a black booker from both myself and Ted a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, Ted texted today saying, remind everybody that Another Will, Jimmy Star, Gringotts are all running on Saturday. And he didn't really tip them out, but he just said, wouldn't it be nice to see them all winning? But I think, aren't they in the same race, some of them?
No, no. So Another Will, Jimmy Star and Gringotts are all in separate races.
Okay.
Yep.
Right.
But Another Will and Orchestra are in the same race.
Yeah. Okay.
Orchestra's got an outstanding second up record.
Good man, Dan. That's plenty of same race multis to follow. I'll definitely look back and get on those. Ted likes something at Taupo tomorrow as well that he wanted to put out there. There's a first starter at Taupo tomorrow. I'm keen on race 4, Prosegur. Black booked following 2 very nice quiet trials. Unplaced behind Kitty Flash at Te Rapa in August, and Kitty Flash has won since. The latter trial was a second at Rotorua when blocked down the straight, and after crossing hills to get to the outer, ran on nicely. Hopefully a Friday fill-up. Race 4, Prosegur. Is that how you say it? Or is it?
There was a horse called Pussy Gear once.
I
I think it was a half to Melody Bell or something.
I was hoping you were going to
Pussy
jump in
Gear.
and say
Or Avantage, maybe.
no, this is different. This is Prosegur.
Oh, Pussy Gear, I think it might have been. So this is Prossy Gear and Pussy Gear.
All the cats coming out this weekend.
Yeah,
from the
I've
state.
never been to Spain. I don't even know what these people are talking about.
Who bloody knows? Taupo race 6 tomorrow. I like YOLO, lads. It's going up over 2,600 metres coming back from a hurdling track.
What the fuck have you been looking at?
I put it in my black book a couple of weeks ago after it ran over some distances. It looked pretty good. Taupo race 6. YOLO. Let's have a go.
I like it, mate.
Righto. Few others running in Australia this week before we just finish off with the blessed bets as well. Dan, Marajan, and you're on about Wolfgang. Dan wants to make a bet on Wolfgang in Australia, Luke.
I need to apologise because I said that horse is no good second up. You can lay that. That's false favourite. And it's just killed them.
Yeah.
Apologies.
Yeah,
You got
I don't know.
another?
It might be good, and they've changed the name. Actually, it's not Wolfgang. It's
Wolfgang.
Master Wolfgang or something over there,
Wolfgang.
or Mr. Wolfgang or something like that over there. So look out for that because I got lost on it today. I thought it was scratched, but they've just changed the name on me.
But you wanted to have a bet on Marajan at the odds, didn't you?
I like 40. So the fact that he's paying $40 and Wolfgang's paying $9.50 makes no sense to me. You get $9.50 for a place on Marajan.
What's the distance?
2,400. So I think I know Marajan's going for the cup. They're looking for 3,200, but he's been going good races over here, and I think the step up to 2,400. $9.50. I had it in my multi on the weekend before I got scratched because of the wet track, but I think they're looking for a better track. I'm going to have a bet on him each way, like just straight out each way, because I think he's a pretty good horse.
I thought it was called Maharajan. I can't keep up. What's that? Is that Mexican?
Pussy gear. Maharaja. I don't know. No, mate, that needs a good track. It must be a good horse. It won an Auckland Cup, but Ocean
And a
Billy
New
won an
Zealand
Auckland
Cup.
Cup. Fucking that. I had been on that in the Melbourne Cup. It ran last, I think, didn't it? That was devastating. Bill Pomade.
Leave it out, mate.
Yeah, that was. I hope Marajan goes well, and I'll follow you into that. $42 and $9, Luke. That just seems sensible, doesn't it?
Yeah, I haven't had a look at all, so I probably can't add too much there. But I like the passion and patriotism for the Kiwi runners.
Dan Rack has got patriotism over in Australia. You really do, and you always find them, and you always back them. So when they've won, you fight up. I love it.
And for whatever reason, like you seem to get $10 most of the time for them because they just pop up.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh shit, this fucking horse actually is pretty good.
Another one that might pop up at $10 that everybody knows about is Orchestral in Caulfield. Why is that paying $10? Is that what I saw?
Yeah, $9.50. But Desert Lightning was the same last week or 2 weeks ago as well. It popped up and won really impressively, carrying 59 kilos.
I mean,
Write us off.
oh, hold on. What race is it? Sorry, Orchestral?
Same race.
Yeah, what?
Race 10.
Race 10. So this is a Group 1. This is a Group 1. Oh, another Will's in the race.
Yeah.
Right.
Another Will Jordan.
Luke, are you not fired up about Orchestral?
I haven't had a look at the field, to be honest, but that run was... it's probably just a run the other day there at Ellerslie, right? But she'll have to be on her A game to pick up a Group 1 over there. But she's good. She's pretty good.
I know it's 8 o'clock and we need to get out of here, so we're going to get to the best bets. But I do want to ask one question about Orchestral. I was really surprised with the level of scrutiny that the horse had after its first run. There was fucking comments coming from left, right, and centre about this horse. It's like, why? Why is everyone really scrutinising this horse in particular? We know it's outstanding, but there was a lot of scrutiny. No, it's a pass. It's not a pass.
It's a pass. It's not you put any horse on a pedestal, right, and then you just expect that they're going to continue to win. I think that's what made Wink so special, is that she did keep winning. But I think the punters, we get excited about a horse and then just expect that, right, they should just turn up and win. But only horses like Snazzy Tavi, can,
Super Photon.
can do that.
It's the Kiwi. It's honestly, it's just the Kiwi way. It sucks, but it's the Kiwi way.
Yeah.
Regardless of horse, sports person, business personality, whoever it is, like put them up on a pedestal. They do really well. So yeah, awesome. They mess up. Oh, you suck. You're shit.
We better tell you.
Yeah.
Because, you won't be pissed off yourself, so I'll just let you know. I better send you a message.
Yeah. Roger James was like, I was just really happy with the run, and everyone, it might just be a pass mark. Fuck.
Yeah, he's an astute trainer. Like, they know what they're doing. They know they're looking after the horse. So yeah, like we said, I think the other week, they'll be popping off a target, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them do it. And sometimes all it takes is another wheel to get stuck back or something like that, and doesn't get a run, and all of a sudden it's like, holy shit, how did Orchestral pay $9.50? So that's the beauty of horse racing.
The fact that they've gone second up, like they've said all season, she's been really niggly and hard to get her back to where she is. The fact that they've gone, cool, she's had her first up run, she's obviously clearly improved out of sight and gotten really good. The fact that they've put her on a flight and taken her over there after saying they're going to have a really light spring with her tells me they're really astute trainers that she's on track, and I'll be having a crack at her. I'll be still having that bet, like I said before, that same race multi, but I'll be having a crack on her straight up as well.
Yeah.
What's another wheel paying?
$2.90.
Oh, okay.
Desert Lightning's at $6.50 as well. That's
it's $9.50 into $6.50.
Who is Orchestral?
No, Desert Lightning.
Oh, wow.
$9.50. So there's a bit of money for that.
Aussies love a horse running off the front. It was pretty impressive. It was pretty impressive. Like, it's beaten Legato, so they'll probably know a little bit of that form too.
Good luck, Orchestral, and everybody else that's having a crack at your same race multi as well. I do hope that Orchestral just keeps on winning, and Roger James just gets it right again, as he does so many times, and Robert Wellwood, of course. But Roger James seems to be fronting those interviews and things. So good on you, mate. I love it. I love the confidence and getting him behind it. So let's all get him behind the Kiwis this Saturday over in Australia. 7:45. We would have had about 14 million beers by then, all three of us. So I'm sure there'll be some voice notes going around about how good the horse is. Right, let's get into the best bets.
I love that horse.
This week. I love that horse. All right, where are we kicking off? I'm going to kick off actually with the harness lads. I'm going to kick off with Scanman, because I also love this horse, Warlock. I've lost loads of money over its 83 races over the years at Alexandra Park, but it slides into a very nice race for him on Friday night, the Scanman tells us. Been racing consistently now for a long period of time, including a very good run for second last week in a field, which I think was deeper than what he meets Friday night. Good each way hope, Warlock. Honestly, it's an absolute battle horse. It's going to be great. Addington, race 4, Warlock.
Markham's best bet. He's Addington at meeting 8, race number 12. The big Lebowski, NZ Cup nominated pacer, facing a massive drop back in class from his Mount recent assignments, which have included the Spring Cup and the Holmes DG in Auckland behind Sooner the Better and Merlin. Oh, we love Merlin. Big improving runs in both of these, and over 2,600 metres here, should be able to roll up onto the speed at the right time and tough it out for the victory. So that's the big Lebowski.
How good. And Gasso, off the back of his win down south in the Punter of the Year Challenge at Motu Carrara, was it? Or Methven? Methven. He's gone to Addington, race number 7, Cold Chisel. A class act that has gone 2 slashing races after spelling. Last start ran second behind Merlin after coming from a long way back and running over the top of Sooner the Better. Very good run. Main danger is fresh up, so the Chisel may be the fitter horse. The draw is a slight concern, but this horse has the ability to overcome. I agree with Gasso. I think there's a great bet, Cold Chisel.
Get on, righto. Fitzy's best bet is Addington, race 8. I'm Sandra D. All of these harness races are for Friday night as well. I'm Sandra D, race 8 for Fitzy. Great run last start after doing a lot of work, sitting 3 wide the whole way and stuck on gamely for 4th. Second favourite has a tricky barrier draw to work with. Good trainer-driver combo. She gets a good draw. Should get the boys paid, Fitzy reckons. And Dan, what do you reckon about that, mate? Because we've boosted it. Top 2 from $1.90 out to $2.50 in the Harness Halo.
We have made it the Harness Halo. And look, the Harness Halo, and just, clearing the slate here, we've had a bit of a rough start to the season. It's a long season, right, so there's a lot of racing to go. We were really confident in this horse and thought this horse was a winner. But we've taken it for the top 2, and we've got a really good price. 1.9 at a 2.5 for top 2. Just in case, there's another one I think that Tim Williams got a bit of opinion on this one. But I think we've got the draw this time, and I think we're going to win this one. But we've taken the top 2 for security. So I'm Sandra D, top 2, $1.90 at a 2.5. I think that's really good shopping.
Yeah, I saw a video from Fitzy earlier. He's called this one Triple H the Horny Harness Halo because he is that worked up about it. So I'm Sandra D. I'm sure we'll be getting the job done on Friday nights.
You thoroughbred punters, you might as well get a little bit of money on those harness bets on Friday night and definitely get on the harness halo too. I'm sure it will come through. Righto, all the lads, best bets on Saturday for the thoroughbreds. So I'll kick us off. Te Rapa, race 4. I'm going for Frost Fair. A big open field here. There's a couple of horses in here I also really, really like, but I feel like this horse has been a little bit unlucky in its 2 starts this campaign. It was 3 wide the trip at Te Rapa last start over the same distance. The start before that, over 1,100 metres, it got held up a little bit at Ruakaka. Looks like this horse has a little bit about it. Warren Kennedy on board. It's had a couple of runs, so I think it might be able to get over the top of a couple of those that are fresh up and looking very good. And a couple of those might even come out if the track doesn't stay well. So Te Rapa race 4, Frost Fair at pretty good odds. Dan?
Yeah, mate, and I'm going to just the race before you, race 3, La Mesquita. There's a Black Book run a couple of weeks ago at Ellerslie, and it went over the 2200, 4th up in its first preparation for a second in a rating 65. Last start, this horse came from well back in the field to hit the line hard, suggesting that 3rd up and stepping up to the 2000 will suit it perfectly. It is up in class, up to the rating 75, but I think it's got a really light weight. Matt Cartwright on board, and I think we get a good price to find out how good this horse is. $13 and $4 a place.
We'll kick the day off nice and early, and you can suit yourself in race number 1 because it's a bonus back race. And I think we're going to go back to the well because we tipped this as a best bet early on as well. So Ryan Elliott won that day, and the horse that it bet was a horse called Micah Bell, which has come out and won. And then last start, this horse bet Kiwi Skyhawk, which is actually favourite for the race on Saturday. So again, I think this suit yourself might be the forgotten horse in the field. It is $5, $5.50 and $2. It can cop a wet track as well. So I think with a bit more race day experience, it's going for a hat trick at Te Rapa as well. I think that's a good way to kick the day off. Suit yourself.
Nice, mate. Double down. You are an absolute fire. I'm going to move forward to the GOAT's best and come back to one of you two who wants to do the blessed bet and Ted's best. You guys can choose between yourselves. The GOAT is keeping his powder dry for Te Rapa for the Punter of the Year comp. So he's going out to Ashburton, where he has had success. Cashburn, we call it. Race 5, Lombardi. A good second last start behind Green Luck, who's in the Livamol. It was a tidy field and a nice run in an open handicap. Gets a drop back in class here and is good each way value. Follow the GOAT into Cashburn in race 5, Lombardi. Righto, Ted's best.
Ted's best bet. He is fired up for this one. He rang me. I was just getting out of the sauna last night. I barely had a towel around me, and he wanted to tell me about One Bold Cat. Meeting 2, race number 9 at Te Rapa. After spruiking him a while ago, I will have to go with One Bold Cat and the Livamol, $5.50 and $2.20. Quality galloper who has won 8 of 18. He has been set for this as an early season target, and the win in the Arrowfield at Matamata in the lead-up was just a bonus. Just a bonus getting a Group 1. No bloody biggie. I'd like to break rating 65 company. Stable and owners having a great trot at present, and track conditions won't worry this fellow. Ted says, Go Harry, which is the stable name of this horse. Now, we've actually made this the blessed bet of the weekend as well. So we've taken this horse to run in the top 3, which is $2.20 out to $2.70. I believe. So the bookies may be running a little bit scared, only giving us that sort of 50 cents extra for a max bet of $100. Gamble responsibly, of course, if you are having a play. But One Bold Cat, Ted thinks that this horse can get the job done.
Ted's become very emotionally involved in this run this weekend, isn't he?
Yeah, I would say that,
And financially involved, probably, too.
He'll be fired up. He'll be fired up. It's good to see.
Good on you,
After
Ted.
that track work.
How can they beat him?
Yeah.
How can they beat him?
Yeah.
How can they beat Harry? They can't beat Harry. It's in the royal family.
Shit.
beat him.
He'll be partying with Robbie Patterson on the weekend if that comes home too. Good on you, Ted. Good luck with that, mate. Thank you very much, lads. We've run real overtime. But look, you're off to a stag do tomorrow morning after... You probably didn't want this podcast to overrun.
No, I need to get to bed. I need to get to bed. My liver's still recovering from the weekend. And we'll be right. Be a good time. And we'll be back into it because it's the King of the Punt next Saturday.
Really,
back to back to back. You're really pounding yourself.
Just a reminder.
you need a rest before Cup Week, mate. Really, really looking forward to next weekend, the King of the Punt. Make sure you get your tickets. Dan, looking forward to the weekend, mate. We're going to have a punt together on Saturday.
Yeah, mate, your birthday. I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely rip into it. Hopefully we can win a little bit more than we did last weekend, although we went well here or there. But yeah, it should be a bloody good day at the Northcote Tavern. If anyone's around, feel free to drop in and say good day. Of course, it is a pub. It's a public environment. You're more than welcome.
Yeah, Matt's got the whole place booked out, but
Yeah,
you can come in. You can
I-
come in. What date is your birthday?
Yeah, Saturday.
Saturday.
Not
Oh,
often
it's
your birthday falls on a Saturday.
a Group 1 as well.
It's all inclusive, isn't it? Northcote?
Proper horny.
Yeah, you don't
All
have to pay.
inclusive, all your beers and all your food?
Yeah, don't have to
Wow.
pay. I think it's like a BGP event.
Oh, that is outstanding of them.
Thank you, Cam Rogers.
Oh, fuck. No, absolutely looking forward to it. Adam, as always, thank you so much for your time, mate. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in tonight. Good luck if you're having a crack. Like Luke said, gamble responsibly. As always, we really do encourage you to only bet what you can afford to, but make sure you enjoy yourself. Thanks very much, as always, lads. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thank you very much.
Game, set, and match. Shut the gate. They're going to do it again. The Kanaka Million goes with and stays with. Up in front, Delzeo. Long run, but here's the calls now. He's coming. He's going to get the...